Hey everybody, it's Veronica Morris, and today we're answering your questions, and we are posting on different platforms, on Instagram, on comments, and YouTube. Give us your real estate questions, and we're going to answer a few as much as we can. So let's start. Number one, we live in California, and we're looking to move up there. We know here there are a lot of seller disclosures. Are there seller disclosures in Washington? Yes, there are. So I know personally in California, there's a lot of disclosures that sellers do have to provide. In Washington, if you're a buyer, you can know that sellers do have to fill out a seller disclosure unless it's an estate sale. But essentially, you're going to, they have a form and they have to mark off everything that they know about the property. So, has the roof leaked in 5 years? Has there been any do you know the age of the house? Has there been remodeling done? And the sellers have to fill that out to the best of their ability. So yes, there are disclosures. They're not as heavy as California, but there are still there. Number two question, what should I look for in a home inspection? A home inspector is going to go through every little thing. I always tell my clients, even a brand new construction home, they will also have a large report with dings on there too. So, but what to look for, it's going to also depend on your comfortability with maintenance and so forth. One of the big things I think that you should look for is foundation problems, water damage. Water is always a pretty big, scary monster. And then just maintenance items to your ability. So knowing what to budget for. I don't personally, I don't think a roof's a big deal. And if you're in a competitive situation, maybe you're not able to negotiate that, but you just know to budget for that. Roofs aren't as crazy as some people think. I would be more concerned with a sewer scope, a broken sewer line, or again, foundation issues that could be a hefty price down the line. So those would be my biggest ones for there. But again, it's kind of dependent on your comfortability with things. And that's that. How do I find off-market homes? So this one, I think, I don't know if you're an investor or if you are just wanting to try to beat out the competition here, but if you're working with a real estate agent, I'll tell you what we do for off markets. So writing letters, if you have a certain neighborhood that you like, writing letters to homeowners is always a big thing. If you can find their emails and so forth, you can do that as well. But yeah, handwritten letters. Also, what I've done in the past too is going after the agents. So I will go, if it's a condo community, if it's a neighborhood, I will go and look who was the buyer's agent on their sale. And if it sold, more than, 3 to 4 years ago, why not? Why not reach out to them and say, hey, has your client talked about moving at all? And that's going to be a little bit warmer of an introduction. They know their agent. So personally, how I do it as an agent is I go and say, hey, this is, a great time to touch base with your client too. And I'm just looking if you have any insight if they're looking to move or not. So for me, mailers, that way, if you're doing it as an investor, I know a lot of investors just, you can cold call, you can knock on the door, say hello, see if anyone's selling, or maybe there's a neighborhood. But those I'd say are the top three ways to go. Last but not least, I think we put this. One of the questions is, what's your best advice? So, which is a loaded question, but we thought we'd put it on here. So there's going to be different advices for sellers, for buyers. I think there's just a lot of what ifs in the market right now. I think my biggest advice right now is to just be educated and don't listen to all the fluff out there. There's going to be if you just Google real estate news or real estate news in Seattle, Kirkland, Bellevue, you're going to find articles that might be from a while ago, especially with interest rates. People see these articles about interest rates that happened 2 or 3 days ago. They change on the daily. A lender could quote you something in the morning and it could be different at night. So I just think that educating yourself, which also means talking to real estate agents and different professionals, depending on which area you're looking for advice in, but talk with the people who do it for a living, because they're the ones that are going to have the most insight and able to educate you on a present time versus these news articles that sometimes are based off a couple of days ago, weeks ago, and also just kind of go to terrify you a little bit more than to educate. So for another 4 great questions, love them. If you have other questions, comment them below. We'll get to them, and we'll see you next time on the Q&A.